Welcome. We are going to look at some measurements that can be obtained from the PLAX view in this tutorial. The parasternal long axis view is obtained with the transducer in the second to fourth left parasternal intercostal space. The marker on the probe should face the patient's right shoulder. What is seen in this echo clip? We can go through it in an organized manner. Let's review the structures that are seen in the PLAX view first. The LV, RVOT, LA, mitral valve and aortic valve are seen here. Other structures include the aortic root and ascending aorta, pericardium, and descending aorta. The most striking abnormality seen in this clip is a dilated aortic root. The left ventricular walls appear hypertrophied. The LV appears to contract well. We can determine EF by measuring the EPSS or fractional shortening. This was explained previously. Let's take a look at some of the other measurements we can do here. We can do measurements in 2D mode or by using M mode. Measurements that can be made in 2D include the LVOT diameter, aortic valve annulus diameter, and aortic root diameter. The aortic root consists of the sinus of Valsalva and sinotubular junction. The proximal ascending aorta diameter can also be measured here. The sinus of Valsalva measures about 4 centimeters here. This measurement is made in end diastole, at the peak of the QRS complex. The normal aortic root should measure less than 2.2 centimeters. The aortic root is dilated here, indicating increased risk of aortic dissection and aortic regurgitation. Let's now look at some measurements in M mode. Placement of the M mode tracer through the aortic valve leaflets gives rise to the M mode image shown. The following structures are seen from the top of the screen to the bottom. The structures revealed on M mode from top to bottom are the right ventricle, followed by the aortic root and cusps of the aortic valve. The aortic valve opening can be observed here in systole, having a normal box-like profile on M mode. Finally, at the bottom of the screen, the left atrium is seen. The aortic root dimensions and left atrium dimension can be measured here as shown in the M mode tracing. To summarize, the measurements that can be made in the PLAX view include the left ventricular internal dimensions in systole and diastole. The other measurements include posterior and interventricular septal wall thickness. EPSS can be measured by moving the M mode tracer across the tips of the anterior mitral leaflet. Finally, aortic root dimensions and left atrial dimensions can be obtained as described earlier. Hope you enjoyed this brief bite-sized tutorial. Thank you.